Hello, this is Dr. Liu at LeTime. Have you thought about using the essential oil during your soap making? And did you worry about will the essential oil change because of the harsh environment when you are doing the soap making? And this video, I will walk you through from the chemistry angle and understand what happened to the essential oil when you are using that during your soap making, and how to avoid the problems, and what are the best essential oil you can try when you want to make the unique soap by using the essential oil. And the same question also even happened to the fragrance oil. So watch this video, understand what happened during the process and how to avoid it, and pick the right essential oil for your soap making. For soap making, there are generally two kinds of methods. One is a cold process and the other is hot process. And in this video, I mostly talk about the cold process. And hot process is a little different, but I will talk about that later in a different video. And also talk about the essential oil if you want to incorporate the essential oil in the hot process. So for the cold process, you generally have two groups of the ingredients. One is the oil. You can use just a plain oil, infused oil, or mixed blend oil. And second is a lye. That is sodium hydroxide. That is a strong alkaline. You can also use a potassium hydroxide for the soft soap making, but they all strong alkaline. So because the oil is fatty acid and lye is a sodium hydroxide or hydroxide alkaline. So acid and alkaline, they will react. That called a saponification reaction, and you will change them from the liquid into the hard soap shape. So that's how you make the soap. Because the sodium hydroxide, I just use that as an example. So it is a strong base alkaline, and also it generates a lot of heat when you are making the sodium hydroxide, the water, the liquid. So those hot and strong base environment can be disaster to your essential oil if you don't choose the right one. So in the video, I will explain from the chemistry angle, from what is essential oil its a chemical composition, and then essential oil is not like a pure chemical. It's a mixture of all kinds of chemicals, and some of the essential oil can have tens or even hundreds of the different chemicals. So they normally have over 10, a lot of it's a mixture of a lot of chemicals. And within the chemical, some of them can be reactive and some are not. So that make us understand what happened. So when we mix the essential oil into the soap making process. You will hear three topics. The first one, what are the chemical composition within the essential oil? And the second, how the essential oil react with the sodium hydroxide. And the third is I use the lavender essential oil as an example to explain what happened and how do you find the most reliable essential oil when you are making your soap. Essential oil is a mixture of different kinds of the chemicals. In general, we separate them into 8 groups. The first group is hydrocarbons. It's also called terpenes. Hydrocarbon is quite popular in the nature, like a gasoline. They are hydrocarbons, and the hydrocarbon has aroma. It also brings antiviral, antiseptic benefits. And the second group is called alcohols. Alcohol, we know that, right? Alcohol, they have a good sanitization. So it brings antimicrobial and balancing the smell. The ester. Ester is one of the most popular natural chemical, brings aromas. A lot of the like fruits, flowers, they have the esters. Ester has their floral smell. It brings the benefits of a calming, it's a relaxing. The fourth group is the phenols, polyphenols. We know that it has a powerful antimicrobial, but it can bring irritation because the phenols, especially when you go over a certain level, it become toxic. Then the aldehyde. The aldehyde has also antimicrobial, the calming, it has a fresh smell. The next group is the ketones. For example, the kaffir, it has a great antimicrobial, anti-inflammation, anti-itching, pain relief, a lot of benefits. And then the carboxylic acid, it's rare, it's not common in the essential oil, but cinnamon has it. And the last one is called oxide. Oxide, one of the symbol chemical is 1-acenal. It's also called a eucalypto. You know, it's been used in the commercial mouthwash and also, you know, used for a lot of like disinfectant and also antiviral. These 8 groups of the chemical within the essential oil doesn't mean, you know, all essential oil have this 8 group of the chemicals. This is for the general category of the chemicals within all kinds of essential oils. So some of the category, they are reactive with sodium hydroxide. The next picture, it shows the reactivity of the compounds with the sodium hydroxide. There are stable groups like hydrocarbons, alcohols, ketones, and oxides. But there also the group is reactive with the sodium hydroxide. That means they will react if you have sodium hydroxide, and they will change their chemicals like esters, phenols, aldehyde, and carboxylic acids. So when we talk about the stability of the essential oil in the soap making, we talk about how much ratio of those reactive portion. So if you have a more like a stable portion, then your essential oil will become stable, and even they will survive through the process. But the reactive portion will be reacted. As we know, essential oil always have you know, all kinds of chemicals. Some has more, some has less. So more or less, I would say they will change. But some essential oil can change more, or even most of them will change because they contain most of the compounds from those reactive portion. Now I'm going to use lavender essential oil as an example to explain what will happen if you add lavender essential oil during the soap making. So here the table lists some of the major chemicals within the lavender essential oil. Of course, their portion can change based on, you know, the weather, the location where the plant grow, and the time you harvest, and the breed, the kinds of the plant. So that's why I have the range of it. You always have a range, you know, when you talk about the natural compounds. So its major compounds include the linalool, that's monoterpene, alcohol. So alcohol is stable. And the second major group is linoleic acetate. Linoleic acetate is ester. It brings its floral scent, but it's not stable. So it will react with the sodium hydroxide. That means it will lose its floral scent after you're mixing this linoleic acetate with the sodium hydroxide. Kaffir is ketone, is stable. 1-acenal is oxide. And the other like monoterpene alcohol. So these are the major chemicals, but there are also some small portion chemicals. It could be reactive with the sodium hydroxide. So after this, even you think you're gonna use the fragrance oil, but you can use the same theory to understand what will happen, even if you're using the fragrance oil, because fragrance oils, they try to mimic the nature mostly, but some of them like wholly man-made, but most of them, they try to mimic, what's the smell from the nature, and they make the chemical, but most of them are same group with the essential oil. So you can follow the same theory to understand or expect what will happen if you use this fragrance oil or that fragrance oil during your soap making.